usually I record in a different room. So you are seeing the mess that is my blankets, which is crazy, and my stuffed animal collection. Tonight we are going to go over the NFL Week 6 games. We will talk about it, maybe break some stuff down, see who at this point, actually, no, I'm going to do a different video where I break down the contenders and the pretenders, but we can maybe touch on it a little bit. I don't have my normal setup, so I will have to like hold the microphone and do it this way, so it's high quality stuff here at Gentle Blitz. High quality stuff. A little bit of housekeeping here. I have been touching on the Premier League. I've been watching another ASMR channel. His name is Welsh ASMR, and he does a really great job of talking about the Premier League and all of the other leagues, because it's a lot, and the Championships League, like I don't understand any of that, and he's been really helpful. So I'm gonna leave his stuff linked below if you guys wanna look at it, because I've really enjoyed it. Plus he has like a Welsh accent, so the ASMRing is great. I'm just saying, I think it's great. And yeah, so let's touch on the Premier League for a second. I like an underdog, so I was like, I could cheer for like Liverpool or Manchester United or Chelsea, but no, I went with Nottingham. That's who I'm cheering for right now. I like their vibe, I like their colors, and I'm a big Robin Hood fan, so that's kind of how I decided where I was gonna go. But yeah, okay. If you like ASMR and you like sports, talking about sports, or just listening to some crazy person ramble on about sports, this is a channel for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like button, leave a comment down below. Anything helps the channel grow. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm thinking that if we do that, maybe I'll do like a giveaway or a question, a Q&A. But I'm a little nervous about Q&As because I think they're a little scary. But yeah. So let's get started. I am trying to make these longer. It's just I talk too fast. Especially when I get excited about something, I talk way too fast. So bear with me while I try to make the videos longer. If you haven't checked it out, I did a video all about the Eagles and the Giants. What I think is going on with them. So if you have a second, check it out. I won't necessarily touch on this game too much. The Eagles lost. It was crazy. They lost 34-17. Cam Scatabo had 3 touchdowns, and Jackson Dart threw it for a touchdown, and I think he also had a touchdown on the ground. Let me double check that. Let's double check that. Yeah, Jackson Dart threw for a touchdown and got one on the ground. The Giants are looking decent, and the Eagles aren't looking great, but I feel like with all sports there's ebbs and flows, and right now it's not flowing for the Eagles, and they just gotta figure it out. I think that they have a missed opportunity with Saquon. They have a lot of mouths to feed and just one football to make everybody happy. So I think they gotta figure that out. Meanwhile, the Giants are just happy to be here and happy to be a little bit relevant right now, and that's great. Okay, so let's start with the Packers-Bengals. Joe Flacco was the starting quarterback, and he was going for history, which if he would have won, he would have been the first quarterback to beat the same team twice. was 29 of 45, 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown was carried the ball 9 times for 42 yards. Jamar Chase, 10 receptions, 94 yards and a touchdown, and that touchdown was crazy. I mean, I want to say it was Keyshawn Nixon who was on him. There was a little pushing and shoving, mainly on Keyshawn Nixon, it looked like, and he like just threw him down, like right down, like caught the ball. It was crazy. T. Higgins, 5 receptions for 62 yards. Noah Fant, 4 receptions for 27 yards. Tanner Hudson, I'm sure everybody had Tanner Hudson on their fantasy team, had 4 receptions, 10 yards, and a touchdown. It was a pretty close game. At the end of it, the Packers pulled out the win. But to me, it made me nervous. It was a close game. Jordan Love was 19 of 26, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he had 1 sack. Josh Jacobs carried the ball 18 times for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is a beast. He was a beast in Alabama. He was a beast with the Raiders, and he is a beast with the Packers. Jordan Love also carried the ball 7 times for 26 yards, and Matthew Golden carried it twice for 16 yards. Matthew Golden was the leading receiver, and I think you're going to see that trend a little bit more as the season goes on. So he had 3 receptions, 86 yards. No touchdowns yet, though. I actually don't think he has does he have a touchdown yet? I don't know if I can't see his stats individually. Josh Jacobs had 5 receptions for 57 yards. Romeo Dobbs, 5 receptions for 55 yards. Tucker Kraft, 2 receptions, 43 yards and a touchdown. And his touchdown was great, too. He is a beast. I'm sorry. I keep looking around. There's like a spider or something in this room, and I'm just trying to make sure that it doesn't crawl on me, because it wouldn't be great. Edrin Cooper and Quay Walker were the top tacklers. Micah Parsons only had 3 tackles. Lucas Van Ness had a sack, but he also got hurt, and I haven't seen the update for that yet. I don't know what happened there. Brandon McManus was out, so Lucas Harvisick, he went 2 for 2 on field goals and 3 for 3 on extra points. He looked great. Alright, the Broncos and the Jets. I didn't even watch this game. I was working that morning, and I didn't get home until about 3. I didn't watch this game, but I do know that Garrett Wilson got hurt, and that screws my fantasy team up a little bit, but it is what it is. Bo Nix was 19 of 30 for 174 yards and a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins had 14 carries for 40 yards. Bo Nix, 5 carries for 24 yards. Evan Ingram was the leading receiver with 5 receptions and 42 yards. Marvin Mims, I did see Marvin Mims catch a ball. I think it was like 15 or 16 yards. But he had 2 receptions for 30. Nate Adkins, again, I'm sure everybody had him on fantasy. 2 receptions for 23 yards and a touchdown. And then the Jets are just gross. They're bad. Justin Fields, 9 of 17 for 45 yards. It's gross. Breece Hall carried the ball 22 times for 59 yards. Josh Reynolds, 3 receptions, 25 yards. Garrett Wilson, 3 receptions, 13 yards. I mean, no wonder Garrett Wilson's like yelling at people on the sideline. This team is disgusting. I almost think, and I know that when I did my predictions, I said, or maybe on TikTok I said this a long time ago, that I liked the signing of Justin Fields because of what he did with the Steelers, but he's a liability right now, and you gotta look at Tyrod Taylor and think, I'd rather go with Tyrod Taylor it's just, they're not good. They're not good, and the Broncos ended up winning. The Browns and the Steelers. The Browns got down really fast. Dylan Gabriel, 29 of 52, 221 yards, 0 touchdowns. Judkins had 12 carries for 36 yards, and that's because it was out of control from the jump. Harold Fannin, 7 receptions for 81 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 5 receptions, 43 yards. David Njoku, 3 receptions, 28 yards. And then the Steelers, Rodgers, 21 of 30. Rodgers looks like the Rodgers of old, right? Like, he's just doing his thing. I think that they're looking for another wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if they, call maybe the Packers about Romeo Doubs. But I don't know if the Packers would trade Romeo Doubs. It'll be interesting. I'm trying to think where else they could go as far as wide receivers. Maybe you call the Jets. I think Garrett Wilson just signed that contract though, so I don't know if he'll go anywhere. But yeah, Jalen Warren, 11 carries, 52 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 6 carries, 22 yards. Sorry. I'm trying to make sure that the cord doesn't fall out because it's barely hanging on. I gotta get a new one eventually. DK Metcalf had 4 receptions for 95 yards and a touchdown. Darnell Washington is 3 receptions, 62 yards. Jonnu Smith, 3 receptions, 18 yards. Darnell Washington also fumbled the ball. Patrick Queen and Deshaun Elliott were the top defensive players. By the way, I feel so bad for Fred Warner. He's my tried and true in fantasy football, and he's out for the season. I feel really bad for him. He's such a great player. I love him. The Chargers beat the Dolphins now. I do think that the Dolphins think about firing McDaniel if they don't win here soon. And Tua coming out and being like, people are late for meetings and all this. There's issues there, and they need to get that fixed. And it could be that getting a new coach gets that fixed. Justin Herbert. So the Chargers won 29 to 27. Justin Herbert won, confirmed his relationship with Madison Beard. And then he proceeded to go 29 of 38, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamani Vidal, 18 carries, 124 yards. Tell me you had him on your fantasy team. I doubt you did, or maybe you did. But I doubt it. Lad McConkey had his coming out party for the 2025 season. 7 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. And then Kamani Vidal, 3 receptions, 14 yards, and a touchdown. Have a game. Come on, Kimani. Let's go over to the Dolphins. Sorry, I fat fingered the screen. Here we go. Tua, 21 of 31, 205 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Jalen Waddle was 1 of 1 for 8 yards passing. Adrian had a game, 16 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 6 receptions for 29 yards. And who scored the touchdown? Darren Waller, 12 receptions. Sorry, not 12 receptions, 2 receptions, 12 yards, and 1 touchdown. It's like death taxes in me saying the yards for receptions instead of the other way around. It happens at least once a video. The Dolphins have issues, and I think you gotta start looking at as a starter. Drake May carried the ball 29 times for 28 yards. Travion Henderson, pretty much the same as Drake May. And Ramondre Stevenson, 13 carries for 18 yards. Keyshawn Boutte, is it Boot or Boutte? 5 receptions, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Demario Douglas, 3 for 71 and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 3 of 28. Definitely took a step back from last week. Spencer Rattler, 20 of 26, 227 yards, no touchdowns. Alvin Kamara. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that coughing. It's loud. That's what my face was for if you didn't know. Alvin Kamara, 10 carries, 31 yards. Keandre Miller has 8 carries and 21 yards. Now they're saying that Alvin Kamara is not going to get traded. He doesn't want to go anywhere. I don't know, maybe Keandre Miller can get traded. I just think that you gotta do something here. Chris Olave, 6 receptions, 98 yards. Alvin Kamara, 5 receptions, 45 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 4 receptions, 28 yards. You know, I think that the Saints are playing competitive ball. They're not playing well. I mean, no, they are playing well, but they're not gonna win, but they are being competitive. So I think, like, next year they might be better than what we think right now. Not so much, but I think that they can only get better. Next up is the Rams against the Ravens. I don't even know if I need to go through this. The Ravens look like dog doo-doo. And Matt Stafford, I mean, the Rams barely beat him, but the offense without Lamar Jackson is putrid and disgusting. They were a little bit better when Huntley came in, but outside of that, I don't know. Matt Stafford went 17 of 26, 181 yards, and 1 touchdown. Kieran Williams, 13 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Tyler Higbee, 4 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Puka Nacua went out with an injury but came back. I think he is day to day. I wouldn't be surprised if he is back in the lineup. I mean, the Rams look like they tried. They tried to lose the game, but Tyler Huntley got sacked 4 times. Cooper Rush went 11 of 19 for 17 yards and 72 yards and an interception, and Huntley went 10 of 15 for 68 yards. Derrick Henry looked like Derrick Henry, 24 carries, 122 yards. Everything else was just gross. And that is all I am going to say about that. The Cardinals lost to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is 5-1. Who would have saw that coming? 5-1, and the Cardinals are 2-4, and I think Kyler Murray might be out again next week. Jacoby Brissett was the starter. 27 of 44, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Bam Knight taking over the starting duties, but really the only difference between Bam Knight and Michael Carter was that Bam got the Josh Downs had 6 receptions, 42 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, the Colts just keep it on. I mean, they look good. Their defense is really good. Danny does enough to win the games. It's great. It's crazy. It's crazy. Seattle beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just beat the Bills. But also, the Falcons also just beat the Bills as of recording this at midnight on Monday. So are the Bills who we think they are. I mean, they're two not great losses. Sam Darnold, 16 of 27, 295 yards and 2 touchdowns again. I think I said he would regress, and he's not, and he's just showing out and winning when he has to and doing it little by little. Cooper Kupp isn't really a thing, but JSN is. So Kenneth Walker carried the ball 10 times for 34 yards, and Zach Charbonnet, 12 carries for 24 yards. JSN, 8 receptions, 162 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 2 receptions, 40 yards and a touchdown. Crazy. Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence was 27 of 42, 258 yards. Oh, wait, no, the Bills didn't lose to Jacksonville. That was the Chiefs. I'm sorry. The Bills lost to the Patriots. Last week. My bad. Anyway, Trevor Lawrence, 27 of 42, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. Travis Etienne, 12 carries, 27 yards. 2 carries for 14 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., I saw this touchdown. It was crazy. It was great. 8 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. And then Tim Patrick, 1 reception for 26 yards and a touchdown. I want to see the Ravens, Jacksonville and the Browns made a trade. I think Jacksonville got Greg Newsome out of it, and I think they really just swapped cornerbacks. And the Cowboys and the Panthers. Now, I do survival, and I picked the Cowboys to win, so now I'm out of survival thanks to this game. Box scores. Dak is Dak. 25 of 34, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. Javonte Williams is the lead back, 3 carries, 29 yards. George Pickens is the man, and it's going to be crazy when CeeDee Lamb comes back, because the two of them together might actually help win games. George Pickens, 9 receptions, 168 yards, and a touchdown. And Jake Ferguson, 3 receptions, 33 yards, and a touchdown. I think the issue with Dallas is their defense is not great. Dallas is now 2-3-1. Stupid tie. Carolina, Bryce Young did enough. 17 of 25, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. But Rico Dowdle, 30 carries, 183 yards. He said, "Listen here, Dallas, you needed a running back, and you let me walk, so I'm gonna walk all over you today." And he did. Rico also was the leading receiver with 4 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Tommy Tremble, 4 receptions, 39 yards. And then McMillan had 3 receptions, 29 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I think he got his first touchdown, and he gave it to his grandpa after the game. And it was his birthday. Wow. This is going to be a really long video, and I'm sitting on a hard ground, and it's really hurting my butt. I'm just going to go ahead and share that with you guys. So we're going to make real quick progress. Let's see. This is the Titans and the Raiders. This is the game that cost Brian Callahan his job. Cam Ward, 26 touchdown and an interception. Tony Pollard carried the ball 10 times for 34 yards. Van Jefferson, 4 receptions, 75 yards. Is it Chig Okonkwo? 6 receptions, 46 yards. Calvin Ridley, non-existent. And the person that scored the touchdown was David Martin Robinson. Again, if you had him on fantasy, congratulations. 1 reception for 1 yard and a touchdown. That'll get you like 6 points. Cam Ward fumbled the ball twice and he lost it both times. Now, the Raiders did win, and Geno was okay, but I also do believe Geno might have gotten a little bit dinged up. I do think that maybe look at Kenny Pickett. Geno went 17 of 23, 174 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Ashton Genty, 23 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. Trey Tucker, 5 receptions, 70 yards. Michael Mayer, 5 receptions, 50 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 4 receptions, 39 yards. It's just, I want the Raiders to be better than what they are. I think they are a better team. But I think Geno is holding them back. The Geno from the Seahawks isn't the Geno of the Raiders right now, and the offensive line isn't good either. So I think that it is what it is. Now the Titans, I don't even know what they're gonna do. I have no idea. They fired their coach today, which we all kind of saw that coming. But it'll be interesting. Cam Ward is not looking like the guy that's looking like maybe the Titans should have taken Jackson Dart. So we had San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay won that 30 to 19. Mike Jones did everything he could except for throw a touchdown. 27 to 39, 347 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Christian McCaffrey, 17 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne was the leading receiver, 5 receptions, 142 yards. Jake Dongus, 6 receptions, 58 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 7 receptions, 57 yards. One would be the difference. I mean, the difference really is Mac Jones. That's the difference. And Tampa Bay's really good. I mean, Baker's really good. Baker's 17 to 23, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashad White, 17 carries, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Sean Tucker. I almost said Cocker. That's not great. If I was monetized, this would be demonetized in a minute. Sean Tucker, 6 carries, 25 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Johnson had 4 receptions, 64 yards and a touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 2 receptions for 51 yards. And Des Johnson, 1 reception for 45 yards and a touchdown. And did you see Des Johnson's interview where the crowd was chanting MVP, but he thought they were chanting for him and it was for Baker. It's like wholesome. Ikbuka got hurt and didn't come back into the game, I don't think. I mean, I think the Buccaneers are the number 1 team in the NFC right now, and you can't tell me otherwise. I think they are the team to beat right now. They look good. They're well-rounded, even with the injuries. Just think they are doing this without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Ikbuka. And they also don't have Bucky Irving. Wait till that all comes back. That's scary to me. That's scary. Alright, the Sunday night game was the Chiefs against Detroit, and the Chiefs won 30 to 17. Now, I didn't stay up for this game. I didn't, but, anytime the Lions lose, I'm happy, but when it's to the Chiefs, are you really that happy? I did see that Travis Kelce's catch was, not really a catch. Jared Goff, 23 of 29, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 carries, 65 yards, no touchdowns. Sonic and Knuckles, right? That's what they call themselves. David Montgomery, 4 6 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 5 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 receptions, 45 yards. They just couldn't outwit the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 22 of 30, 257 yards and 3 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco, 12 carries, 51 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 10 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 6 receptions and 78 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, 3 receptions, 57 yards. Hollywood Brown reaped the benefits, 4 receptions, 45 yards, but he also got a touchdown. And Xavier Worthy had 2 receptions, 20 yards, and a touchdown. Now, what I did see when I woke up is that Patrick Mahomes was maybe giving Brian Branch a little back and forth, and then Brian Branch was like, I'm not gonna touch you, I'm not gonna fist bump you and say good game because you sound like Kermit the Frog. And then, he went up to Juju and like shook his hand, and Juju said something, and Brian Branch decided to punch him in the face with his helmet on, and then a brawl broke loose, and I'm gonna assume people have gotten suspended for it. That's crazy. I don't understand that. I did not watch any of the Monday night games because the Brewers were playing, and it went down to the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded, and Bryce Ring struck out. Other than that, the game was pretty low scoring. Blake Snell pitched a heck of a game. He had the Brewers all tied up in knots. I think the Brewers could maybe sneak a win or two if they could just get to the bullpen. If you could get to the bullpen and minimize the damage between Ohtani, Hernandez, Freeman, Will Smith, like all of those, if you can limit that and get to the bullpen, I think you have a chance to win. Back to football though. So I didn't really watch these games, but the Falcons beat the Bills 24-14. This is the reason I lost. The person I was playing had Bijan, and he scored like 26 points in the first quarter in fantasy, so that was great. Josh Allen was 15 of 26, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. James Cook, 70 carries, 87 yards. Josh Palmer, 2 receptions, 60 yards. Dawson Knox, 1 reception, 19 yards, and a touchdown. And Ray Davis had 2 receptions for 19 yards and a touchdown. I don't think the Bills looked great. What I do remember, Michael Penix Jr., 20 of 32, 250 yards, 1 touchdown. Bijan, 19 carries, 170 yards, and a touchdown. And that touchdown came off of an 80-yard run. Tyler Algier, 10 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. And Drake London, 10 receptions, 158 yards, and a touchdown. And Bijan, and 6 receptions for 68 yards. And that, my friends, is how you lose a fantasy game. Now, granted, let me just touch on my fantasy team for a second. If you guys want, I could do a whole video. My fantasy team is like good but disappointing because I just keep losing. It sucks. I have like the highest points for and the highest points against in my league. So it's not like my team's not scoring. It's just usually I'm playing the team that scores the most points that week. Jaden Daniels carried the ball 10 times for 52 yards. Chris Moore, 3 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Ertz, 6 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Luke McCaffrey, 1 reception, 33 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Daniels fumbled the ball twice, lost it once, and recovered it once. Krogsky Merritt fumbled the ball once and lost it, which is probably why we have the score that we do. But, and I very rarely do this, let's go by the play-by-play. So in the first quarter, the Bears had a field goal. The Redskins had an interception. And then the Bears had a field goal. And then the Redskins fumbled. So at the end of the first quarter, it was 6-0. In the second quarter, the Bears scored a touchdown. And then the Commanders... Oh, I said the Redskins. I'm so sorry. The Commanders. The Commanders scored a touchdown, so it was 13-7. The Bears had to punt. The Commanders missed a field goal. The Bears had to punt. And then we went to half. So at the half, it was 13-7. The third quarter, the Commanders got a field goal. Then the Bears got a field goal. And then the Commanders took the lead with a touchdown, and it was 16-17. Then, hang on just 1 second. I'm telling you, I'm sitting on the ground, and it is hurting my back. I'm not as young as I used to be. The Bears in the fourth quarter blocked a field goal and got the ball back on downs. But then, the Commanders get the ball back and score a touchdown, and it's 16-24. And then the Bears get the ball and they score a touchdown, and it's 22-24. And then we go back and forth, punt, fumble, which caused the Bears to hit a field goal to win the game at the end, and that is crazy. That's crazy to me. Congratulations to the Bears. So it was the mistakes. The Commanders had it, and then they just had mistakes, and that sucks when you shoot yourself in the foot when you know that you should have won it. Well, that's gonna do it for me tonight. So 40 minutes. My back is hurting, and really my butt is hurting because this floor is really hard.